Hello everyone, and welcome to a video on the Dubois Trap. This is one of the most insane traps ever, if not the most insane trap. Let's get into it. So it comes out of a very normal opening. e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to c4, the Italian game. I'm sure you've seen this opening before, but now it gets a little irregular with the move pawn to f5, known as the Rosselló gambit. Now white plays this move, pawn to d3, very solid, just reinforcing their center. And now we play the move bishop to c5, targeting this f2 square, but now white plays the move knight to g5. This move double attacks this f7 square with their knight and their bishop, and if they can move there with their knight, then it would be a fork on our queen and our rook, which would obviously be no good. However, the move here that we play completely ignores this threat, and it's pawn to f4. White here will probably think we're stupid and play, knight to f7, because who wouldn't? This just looks, so juicy, and what does black really have here? But now we play the move queen to h4, targeting this f2 square, which would be checkmate if we could take it, and this is where the fun begins. The engine does say that white is slightly better here. However, in this position, even though we are completely hanging a rook, black wins 76% of the games here. So in this case, I really think the engine evaluation doesn't really matter that much. So the vastly played move here is simply castles by white, because it looks like, oh, you only have your queen and your bishop, and those can't really do anything. With those two pieces, yeah, we can't really do anything, which is why we bring a third piece into the attack with knight to f6. In this position, over 90% of the white players here ended up taking our rook and is now completely losing due to the move knight to g4. This move threatens checkmate, and other than sacking their queen for a knight, the only way that they can stop it is with pawn to h3, at which point we play knight takes on f2, defended by our queen and our bishop. Now, white's only move to not lose immediately is to take the knight and sacrifice the rook. If they play something else like queen to e2, then we have checkmate after knight takes on h3, double check, their king runs to h2, and now knight to g1 is simply checkmate because our queen checks the king, and their king cannot run back because it's protected by our bishop. So they will take it, we take back for queen, and now white has an option here. They can either play king to h2 or king to h1, both lose, and in both very beautiful ways. If they play king to h2, then we win in beautiful fashion here, pawn to d5, attacking their bishop, and getting our bishop free to move somewhere along this diagonal, and after they take it, I'll give you a second, try to find this incredible move. The move here is bishop to g4, an absolutely insane looking move, but every single thing that white does just loses. If they take with their pawn, then queen to h4 is simply checkmate because this g1 square is still defended by our bishop. If they capture with their queen, then queen to g1, defended by the bishop, is simply checkmate. And if they play queen to h1, trying to keep everything defended, then queen to g3 is simply checkmate, defended by the pawn, checking their king, and this bishop still covers this important g1 square. So they definitely cannot go king to h2. However, king to h1 is still very bad and losing for white due to the very nice move pawn to f3. They can't take it with their queen because then queen to g1 is checkmate, so instead they will take it with their f-pawn because remember we are threatening to take this and checkmate them, so they have to take it. But now simply pawn to d5, and we're attacking their bishop, and then our bishop's coming out, and then this battery here is super strong, and then even if our knight wants to join the party, it can too. Needless to say, this is completely winning for black. So that is the main trap of this position. However, there are also a lot of other little side traps that are also really interesting that I want to show you. The first one is that instead of playing the most popular move castles, what if they play the second most popular move here, queen to f3, defending the f2 pawn like this. Now we play the move d5 here, attacking their bishop, and also opening up this bishop to go to g4, at which point the queen is not quite trapped, however they're going to have a ton of trouble and it will end up losing. The best move is to take our pawn with their bishop. If they do this, then bishop to g4, attacking their queen, they will counterattack our queen with pawn to g3. Now we will simply back up our queen to h5, they will take our knight with check, we just take back, They have to move their queen, at which point we will just take their knight. We're already up a piece in this position. We might even be up in exchange as well with a skewer here. This is fantastic for us, and we're completely winning. Another little trap is in this position. The computer's choice is to move knight to d2, and the point of it is that after we play knight to g4, they will play knight to f3, defending this h2 square and attacking our queen. In this position, we have an extremely tricky move here. Knight takes on f2. So if they take our queen, we will take theirs. And the important thing here is that this bishop gives discovered check. And then after they move their king, then we just go right back with our knight. So their king has to go back, and now we just take a pawn. Their king goes back, we go back. And now we take another pawn. You see the little dance that we're doing here? So they have to move again. And now simply rook to f8, and we're just up 2 pawns here. I think more, actually. Yeah, needless to say, we're completely winning this position as well. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I will see you next time.